There's a way you take me up from down and place my feet on solid ground.
Good morning, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cynthia and I am a clinical social worker. I work in a school as a school-based clinician, and this is a week in my life as a social worker. I want to quickly give you guys an OOTD. So earrings from Amazon, turtleneck from Shein, jacket from, I think this is H&M, pants from Primark, and these shoes from Just Fab. It's a nice, cozy, chic winter fit. I got to work a little bit early today since it's my first day back, just to, I don't know really why, but yeah, so I'm gonna just check my emails, and then what am I gonna do after that? Check my emails and then see what is on the agenda for today. So since today is the first day after the break that I'm back, I don't foresee it as being a really long day, but you guys know how it goes. Anytime I say that, something comes up and it ends up just being a lot that I have to do. What I do next is I look at my calendar to see who I need to see today. This is my handy dandy clipboard. I like to write down my sessions for the day. I do not, as tech savvy as we get as a generation, I prefer writing things down. Today's date, which is, oh my gosh, today is Monday. I don't know why I was thinking today is Tuesday. Today is January 11th. No, it's not. It's January 13th. We have 3 sessions today. Today might just be a welcome back, how was your break type of session, unless something more urgent needs to be dealt with. Today is also SEL day. So for those of you who don't know, SEL means social emotional learning. These are days when the school counselor goes into every single classroom and does social emotional learning lessons. I've talked about this before, but I assist her when I have time, and I just go in and offer support, whether it's helping out with the lesson or passing out papers, being a support for children who might have some behavioral challenges. So I'm gonna do that later on after my sessions. I can probably help her with 3rd and 4th grade today. So let me write that. Support SEL. That's what I have planned. Now, who knows if you know, anything's gonna come up. I also like to go into my clients' charts to see what we talked about last session. I talk about this all the time, but I like to just review our previous session. I like to review the treatment plan on a regular basis just to see if we are still on target to reaching the treatment goal. See if we have to pivot in any way with any intervention or strategy. This is the aftermath of having 2 sessions. sessions for the day. It's only, time is it, 11:40. So as I mentioned to you all earlier, I'm going to support SEL today. That's going to be later on. Obviously I can't take you all with me because I'll be going inside the classroom. I wanted to share something that I think will be helpful for children who are more so hands-on learners. SAND is a really great resource because some, like for example, I had a group support meeting with my agency last week, and one of my co-workers, case presentation on her client who has selective mutism. She was asking us what some interventions are she could do with that student. And so something that I recommended was that they use this assistive language device. I know that they use that for children who are autistic that have really limited language and vocabulary, but I told her that that would be good. The device has different pictures and things like that that the child can press to communicate. So that's something that could help. You may have a client who's not selectively mutive, who doesn't have selective mutism, but they just don't really talk a lot and they're still warming up to therapy. Hands-on activities will really help to build rapport. So kinetic sand, as I just showed you all, making slime as well. I don't know if it's still as prevalent or popular as it was back in the day, but definitely make slime together, draw things, cut things out, just do things with the hand that don't require as much talking, and in that you will find that this, the child will begin to open up. So I hope that that helps. Good morning, good morning. So you all probably can hear it in my voice, but I'm fighting off something. I don't know what it is. I'm not feeling 100%, so my energy is not the best, but you know what? We're gonna keep pushing through. I want to give you guys my OOTD. This scarf I got from this store in Chicago. I think it was Uniqlo, I'm not sure, but I've had this for years. Dress, got it from Shein. So plan for today, right now, I actually have to go do morning duty where I greet the students. So I'm gonna go head to the front for that. And then I think I have about 4 students to see today. I think so, yeah, because 2 of them weren't here earlier this week when I went to pick them up for their session. So if the student is absent, I normally try to circle back around and get them another day in the week, just so that I can have the appropriate number of sessions I need to have every month, so that it can be accounted for. Oh, there you have it. The internet is out, so there's that. I guess I just have to wait until it comes back. But this is one of the downsides of working in a school. And I don't know if this is just for the county that I work in, but the internet goes out randomly. It's so annoying. And so I have to, everything that I do is connected to the internet, obviously. So I have to wait until it's back up and running before I can log into my EHR and look at all of the clients I have for today and prep for our session. So I can't do that. And my first session is supposed to start in 30 minutes. So I'm just gonna have to wait. There's that. Is there anything I can do in the meantime? There's literally nothing, because everything I have to do is on. Maybe I can connect to my hotspot. Let me try that. Because I don't really use my hotspot like that. Okay. Oh great, I'm on. Because I want to at least just be able to check my emails and do some other things. You guys, I just wanted to make this announcement that I am no longer offering career consultation sessions. I have gotten a couple of inquiries yesterday about helping out with a career consultation. Now, you all know how much I enjoy serving you all and how much I've done it. I've done it for over a year without any charge. but the time has come to end it for now. So I am so sorry that I'm unable to offer additional career consultation sessions. They're not going to be gone forever, just temporarily. I am no longer offering them. If you stay connected to my channel, if you subscribe to my website, you will be notified when they are back up and running. So I just wanted to let that be known as well. I do have to make an update on my website so that people aren't booking career consultation sessions in the meantime. Okay, just wanted to say that. But I'm up in my EMR, and so now I'm gonna just, how many clients did I say I had? 4? Okay, I do have 4. So I am done 2 out of 4 of my sessions for today. I couldn't see the other 2 children because one of them wasn't here yet, and one was testing. These are some things that interfere with seeing clients as a school-based clinician because they have to test. I can't take them out from testing, right? They're here primarily to learn. Everything else is secondary. So I have to now work around my schedule to see when else I can see that client. Now I'm just gonna do my notes and then kind of just hang out. Y'all, I don't feel good. I am pushing through this day. I don't mind taking off of work. I will take a mental health day in a heartbeat. But as I mentioned in my last vlog, we were out of school for an additional week. Last week we were already out for 2 weeks for the holiday break, but then we were out practically another week because of the snow. So I just knew that I needed to be at work because if not I would be way behind. All right, you all, just finished my 3rd session. I have 1 more session today that I'm completely done. I want to show you all something that will be a really cool idea if you have a client who deals with hyperactivity and or inattention. So this is something called doodling the details, and essentially the client is supposed to find an object in the home or the office, depending on where the session is being held, and get as close as they can to the object and essentially draw it, and to make it as detailed as possible. And the goal is to increase their focusing skill. So over time, as you do these types of activities, you'll see that the client can focus for longer periods of time. And so here we have this ball. It's kind of dirty because the kids throw it on the floor and everything, but we have this ball. It's a little hard, it's textured, it's yellow, and so for that I would have a kid draw it here. I'm not sure why this is not focusing. Yeah, I would have them draw it here best as they possibly can. Yeah, this was always a group that I didn't really know how to service, because if a child has like ADHD or something and the parent is not willing to put their child on medication, which is completely fine. I'm not here to advocate for medication, and I'm not here to say you shouldn't get medication. It really all is case by case, and I always tell parents at the end of the day, they're the ones that call the shots on their children. I'm just an outside clinician that's observing from the outside in, so they can do what they want. But when you have a parent who they are not willing to go the extreme of getting medication to help their child, put them on some type of a stimulant to help them regulate their energy so that they can focus and actually get schoolwork done, you have to get creative and find other means. So this is just one exercise that you can practice with your client to help them increase their focusing skills over time. Now, this may be a more tedious process than just getting a quick fix by, getting medication, but this is definitely worth the try. So I'm like always for exhaust all options, and then if not, then see if there's another more extreme intervention that you can utilize for that. I'm going to do my notes from this session, and then I am going, I feel so quiet today. I normally have meetings, but I don't have any meetings. I'm going to do my notes from the session, and then I have one more student to get. I don't really know what we're going to work on just yet. Probably going to recycle something that I worked on with one of my other students just because it applies to her as well. I always like to, and I've said this before, but I always like to bulk up towards the beginning of the week so that tomorrow being Friday, I can have more of a relaxed day and catch up on work that I didn't get to do on Monday and Tuesday and things like that. So that's pretty much it. If you all have specific video requests related to career, social work in particular, then please let me know. Comment down below so that I can know like what else types of video to film when it comes to social work. Officially wrapped up my sessions for the day. Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. Another day as a social worker. Oh yeah. Totally excited. Anyway, good morning you all. It's January 27th. It's a Monday. Happy Monday. We have either a 2 or 3 hour early dismissal day today. And so I am just warming my car so that I can leave, get to work. When we have early dismissal days, I try to figure out how to make the most of my time, because when you work in a school setting, your time is already very, very constricted because you are a service provider in a school building. And so there are limitations because of that. I was talking to our special education chair the other day, and we were both just talking about our frustrations with being in a school setting. Not like bad, but just more so like, again, the limitations of being in a school setting. And we were talking about how this one parent was sort of asking for more than what we could provide. And we always have to just remind our parents of the students that we work with that we are school-based providers. I've told you all several times doing these videos that I am a school-based therapist, a school-based clinician, meaning I have certain limitations because I am solely school-based. If I was an outpatient provider, then that would be a completely different thing. But as part of being in a school setting, there are limitations. For example, the kids are testing. They're there at the school primarily to learn, number one, and then number two, you help them to resolve any barriers that they might have to learning. But they have testing, okay? So if they're testing, I cannot pull them for a 30-minute session, all right? Like, I just can't. Like, in as much as, yes, they might be having legitimate mental health challenges and things like that, they can't be pulled for a session. They are testing, number one. And then number two, I forgot my adapter. Okay, that's okay. I'll just work with it. But number two, they have other things. They have specials, right? They have like recess, they have art, they have guidance, they have music. There's certain specials that the kids don't want to miss. So then it's like, okay, I can't pull them during that time. And then like days like this, when we have early dismissals, it's like, okay, now I have even a limited amount of time, because now I have to figure out how many of my students I can see with the time that I have allotted. So it's just some of the things that come with being a school-based clinician. Something to keep in mind if you are someone who is interested in school social work or becoming a school-based clinician. I want you to know that there are certain limitations. Time is definitely a thing. The kids are not in school all day, right? And they have instructional time that's pivotal that they can't miss, and so you have to figure out the best time to pull them for a session. Your schedule is going to be very unpredictable, which I've talked about before, but it's just something to consider, and you have to be okay with that, right? So yeah. This is my OOTD. My shirt is from Shein. This is me, okay? So if you all ever wanted to shop for me, get me a blouse that has like ruching. I'm a ruche gal. So silk and ruching, you can never go wrong with that for me. So shirt from Shein. I have on some black pants from H&M, and then I have these shoes. I have boots from Primark. Enough yapping. So I was right, we do have a oop, y'all can't even see me. Anyway, so I was right, we have a 3-hour early dismissal today. So now I have to figure out oh my gosh, did y'all watch the game last night, the championship game? I was at Jen's house and we watched it together, and when I tell you, I am actually a football fan. For those of you who don't know, I was a cheerleader for a good portion of my life. Like majority of my childhood, I spent cheering. I did competitive cheer as well. Cheered for football teams, basketball teams. Man, and my brother is just texting me now about the game. I'm gonna still call them the Washington Redskins. I know their name changed. What's on my lens? I know their name changed to the Commanders, but Redskins is just in my head. But we made it to the championships, and for the record, I'm actually a Dallas Cowboys fan, but I became a Redskins fan just because, for like a day, because we made it to the championships. But anyway, y'all, this was the first time we made it in 33 years, okay? So it was a big deal, it was a big thing. So Jen and I were watching it, and like we were like shouting in her house, screaming. But unfortunately we didn't win the game, but that's okay. The fact that we made it to this point is major. It's a breakthrough. And I was telling her, I said, girl, this is prophetic for the DMV area. Like the Lord is doing a new thing, because this hasn't happened in years. And so anyway, yeah, my brother's just texting me now about that. But what was I saying? So what I'm gonna do, as I do every time I come to work, when I first get here, I go to our EHR system, and then I'm not going to show you guys that obviously because PHI, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to see the clients I have today. So thankfully, the 3 clients I have today, they're already scheduled before our 3-hour early dismissal. So I try to see my clients early in the morning, so that way, because things come up in the day, so I just like to see them early in the day. So I'm going to go in each of their charts and see what we did last week, and then build upon that. There's one of my clients that I have to do a reassessment for, because he no longer presents the symptoms that he once presented when I first assessed him. This was like over a year ago for sure. And so I have to do a reassessment. That's something that we have to do on an annual basis, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it. And quite frankly, it's a lot. Like if you all remember, like I've vlogged some of that before, and like I have to spend like at least an hour on the phone with the child's parent, interviewing them, asking them all these questions. And so it's just like I have to brace myself for it. But yeah, so he's one of the ones I have to see today. He's actually the one that I gave a testimony on in one of my recent videos, about how I was like praying for him heavy and interceding for him, because I truly believe that he was being tormented by demons, which is what caused him to have those symptoms and things like that. But he doesn't have a lot of what he used to have. I'm still believing God for his complete healing. But anyway, he's the one that I have to do a reassessment for, because he no longer presents those symptoms. I feel like my lips are dry. I need to moisturize it. But anyway, so I'm going to go through this. I'm going to write down the 3 that I have today, and then go through my emails. Today would be the day that I leave my heater at home. It's freezing cold. All right, I just finished my first session of the day, and exactly just like I was telling you all earlier, sometimes you can't see your students when you need to because they're testing. So luckily the student I just had, her teacher said that they're not going to be testing until tomorrow. And I think from the way she said it, it almost seems like she's just using her discrepancy and testing on the day that she wants to test, because testing is happening today. So had it been that she was testing today, I would not have been able to see my client. So anyway, that was a good session. Good news, this client has reached her goals. So I can put that in her notes. So that's really exciting because, you know, again, the point of having a therapist is that one day you will no longer need them because you've reached your goals and you can function in your day-to-day life without the assistance of a therapist. And so it was a really it was a nice moment because I've been meeting with her, gosh, for like at least a year. And just to see her growth over the year has been incredible. Maybe 1.5 years at this point, going on 2. But anyway, so, you know, she was just like, no, but I don't want to stop seeing you and all of this. Because I always tell them, you know, when you reach your goals, you're not going to need Miss Uchendu anymore. And so anyway, we had that moment, but she is trying to bargain and try to see if we can do maybe like twice a month, or, you know, instead of just stopping cold turkey. So we'll see. I'll see. You know, I still have to talk to her parent. Obviously, I'm not going to just stop. I'm not going to just terminate sessions. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and put my notes in for this, and then I have another client to see right after. He already saw me this morning, and it's like, you're going to pick me up, right? So I'm going to have to make sure that I get him. But yeah, so it's freezing. I need to go get my tea because I am so cold. I have my tea in a flask, but it's way too hot. So I put it in this cup so that it can cool down faster. But yeah, this is just some lemon ginger tea. It's really good. Question for those of you that are watching. If you are a therapist, when did I get an email? Oh, if you're a therapist, what treatment modality do you typically go to? I'm a CBT girly. I feel like a lot of people are CBT girlies, but I'm a CBT girly. And in my last session, we did some CBT work, which it's just like my comfort zone. But at some point, I do want to branch out. And this is just me like thinking as I'm talking, right? Thinking out loud. But I do want to branch out and try some other treatment modalities, because there's so much more to therapy than just doing CBT. And CBT is powerful. It's effective. I know that it aligns with my personal views, my religious views, right? It's like renewing your mind, but in the secular way. But it still goes, you know, aligned with scripture. Come on, hallelujah. So yeah, I definitely want to branch out and see what other treatment modality, just to make myself a more well-rounded clinician, especially because now I have my clinical license and I can open up my own practice if I wanted to. And so I definitely want to become more well-rounded and offer more than one modality to provide treatment. But yeah, let me know down below like what other treatment modalities you all, the girlies, are using these days, because I know CBT is like the thing, like everyone uses CBT. Y'all, I tried out ombre for the first time and I love it. My nail tech understood the assignment. I realized that she's really good at, when it comes to like basic designs and styles, I wouldn't even call this a design, but she's really good at just like shaping and the foundation and making sure that your nails aren't like bulky and it's like thin and it's very natural. Like, I also don't like when you get acrylic and then there's some leftover underneath your nails. I don't like that at all. And she makes sure that the underneath is very smooth. But yeah, I just want to show you all my ombre. I love it. I normally do my French tip with this shape, but I decided to try something different. I have just finished meeting with my second client of the day. I have one more to meet with. They're about to have lunch. So because we have a 3-hour early dismissal, we have a modified schedule. So the kids are going to get lunch earlier than they normally would have. And so I'm gonna wait until after lunch. Whew. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna wait until after lunch to meet with my last client. We normally, whenever there's like an early dismissal or a modified schedule or 2-hour delay or whatever, they ask for the specialist in the building to support with lunch duty. Now, as part of my role, I do not do lunch duty. I do not do bus duty. Those are not things I do. I don't cover classes. I don't go on field trips, and things like that. And so, but it is a case-by-case basis. Like if I do have the time, the extra time, I can offer to go in and support. So, I don't know, but I don't think I'm going to help out today just because I need to get this last note, well, the second note in, and then I also need to just do some more documentation. But yeah, that's a liability. We don't go on field trips and stuff with the kids. My first year here, I did all the things. I went on field trips, but like we don't do that. We don't watch classes. Like if a teacher has to step out for a long period of time, we don't cover classes. Like I don't do that. And I like that my agency covers us in that way. That's in our contract, so the school authorities know that we don't do those things. But it also helps to keep us separate from a school teacher or a staff member or whatever, because if the kids see you, like I'm a service provider and they have to see me as that. If they see me doing bus duty, if they see me doing lunch duty and all of the things, then it's like in a way they're not going to regard me as like their therapist anymore or like this separate service provider, right? It's like your doctor coming in and doing bus duty or cleaning up in the lunchroom. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, if I have the time on a case-by-case basis, very rare, I can go in and help, right? And if I'm requested, which I'm not, because again, I said that they don't even ask me because it's in the contract that I don't have to do it. But what I'm saying is it just helps to keep me separate from like a regular staff member, because then the kids don't see me as, oh, you're just everywhere, but like they're able to like keep the boundaries where they need to be. It's like our school psychologist. I mean, she doesn't go in and do any of those things. And so I'm very similar in that way. Like I'm also a service provider, so I don't have to go in. Our SPED department chair, she doesn't go in and do bus duty. So yeah, let me get these notes in and then I'll come back before the end of the day. But today's vlog will probably just be a little bit shorter, just because I only have 3 clients today and then we have a short day. There's not really much to talk about. I did want to check in with this one student last week. The counselor told me that we should check in with him because he witnessed his mom having a seizure. And so we just wanted to provide some support in the event he does need support, to check in. We didn't get to meet with him on Friday, so I'm going to see if we have time today, which we probably not. Let me not even play myself, because at this point we have like an hour and 20 minutes left of school. And yeah, we're not going to get to do it today. Okay, yeah. That's when things start happening. Hallelujah! Let God have his way. Y'all better get into these old songs. Got some oil on it. Why is it that I only have 4 minutes left on my memory card? Bruv, I need to clear up some space. But anyway, Hey guys, it's a brand new day. I want to do an OOTD. Got this shirt from, I don't even remember, maybe Ross, maybe Marshalls. And then, so I'm wearing, oh gosh, these blue pants from Shein, and then I got some flats from Macy's Backstage, and then this cardigan from Shein. My rings are from Primark. Look at all the cool things I got today. So many gifts that I've been given. One of the girls said, "This is me and you." I said, "Girl, I'm not light skinned." She was like, "They're light skinned." Children are so sweet. Look at what I got today, guys. I don't play about my heat. So today has been off to an interesting start. This morning a student came in with some sort of a crisis that we still have not been able to resolve yet. So when I say we, I mean myself, the principal, and the counselor. So I think they're occupied right now, but once they get a chance, then we will have to respond. Like the student is okay, but like something happened outside of the school that she needs support for. So we're gonna have to attend to that. But I just had 2 sessions where I was supposed to have 2 sessions today. One of my students wasn't here this morning when I went, and his attendance is not really the best. So it's like he's not here during the time of our session, but then I have to like circle back around sometime during the week, and that kind of throws me off because I have a set schedule. But anyway, so I just saw my other student for today, and so I'm gonna just go ahead and put some notes in, and then I'm gonna start editing this vlog. But I just wanted to share something that was on my heart this morning. As I was driving to work, I had a little praise session in the car, and I felt like the Lord was just reminding me to not worry. And he just kept speaking to me. Yesterday he was reminding me of the scripture that talks about how worrying cannot add a second to your life. And you know, oftentimes we worry, okay? Worrying is a thing, but it's so unfruitful and it's so unproductive. When you worry, nothing literally comes out of it. And so I just want to encourage you all out there. You might be in a season where you're just like unsure or uncertain of the outcome of something that you've been waiting on, and you're feeling anxious and you're worrying. Worrying can do nothing for you. And so I want to encourage you to cast all your cares at the feet of Jesus and literally let go and let God. Because there's some things that you're just gonna have to say, you know what, like, my hands are up. God, I don't know, I surrender to you. So I just wanted to bless y'all with that.
And they besieged Ahaz, but could not overcome him. At that time, Rezin, king of Syria, captured Elath for Syria, and drove the men of Judah from Elath. I am your servant and your son. Come up and save me from the
Good morning. So hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I think I'm gonna wrap the vlog up today. Yeah, y'all got enough footage for some time. But yeah, good morning everyone. I am gonna show you my OOTD, and then we're gonna get into what I have planned for today. Okay, so my jumpsuit is from Shein. I love this detail right here. It's so classy. I love it. I wore this to my birthday dinner. You all have already seen it if you watched that vlog. I have these flats on from Macy's Backstage. Of course, I have my typical accessories on. So for today, I have 4 sessions planned. One of them is supposed to be a family session. Planning for a family session is a little bit different than planning for an individual session because there's so many different parties involved. Family therapy is a whole nother ball game. This family, y'all just lift up a prayer, because this family That's all I'm gonna say. I have a meeting at 1 o'clock and that's pretty much my day. I didn't get to do morning meeting this morning, not morning meeting, but morning greeting this morning because I was trying to figure out my camera situation. I was trying to clear up space on my SD card because it kept saying that I didn't have enough space. So I ended up clearing out the videos that I had on my SD card. So now I don't have any videos left on my SD card, like completely, and then it's still saying I only have like an hour left of footage, and I'm like, what? Like I've never had this issue before with my card. I have a 64 gigabyte memory card, so if anyone is tech savvy or knowledgeable about this, can you let me know down below, like how do I go about fixing this problem? Like I have nothing on my SD card right now other than this video, which is only like 3 minutes. But yeah, so let me go ahead and get started for the day, and then I'll check in back with you all a little bit later. Alright, you guys, I am done seeing all of the students I need to see today. One of my clients wasn't here today, but I was able to make up a missed session from yesterday. If you all can remember the student I was saying that doesn't really have the best attendance. So he was here today, luckily, so I was able to have my session with him. So I'm just gonna wait. I have about 20 minutes before my meeting that I told you all about. So I'm just gonna hang out a little bit. I just finished my lunch, and so I just wanna like relax a little bit. I had a session, one of my sessions today, my client had a very terrible meltdown. Take him out of the classroom because he was distracting other people, and he actually triggered one of the students in the class who is severely autistic, and so he already has a lot of sensory things going on. So my client, because of his meltdown, triggered the other student, and so it was just a whole thing, and he was, you know, throwing stuff, and it was just so much. So I had to have a session with him to calm down. A tip: when your client is having a meltdown, or not even your client, but if you're working with a student who's having some type of a crisis, they're having a meltdown, the number one thing to do that I found to be helpful is to remove the child from the environment. Isolate the child in a place where they are not going to be able to harm him or herself. So because my client was throwing stuff and everything, I had to remove him from the classroom. There were about, can't remember how many other students. It was at least like 20 other students in the classroom, maybe. And so I had to remove him from the classroom so that nobody would get injured. And then I had to bring him out in a space where I could talk to him just like I'm talking to you all. I didn't match his energy. I didn't yell at him. I didn't scream at him. I talked to him just like this. I gave him several verbal warnings, opportunities to calm down. I also gave him a verbal countdown. And so there were several things I did before we were able to get him to a place where he was stable enough to go back in the classroom. Okay, that's better. Normally I like to document right after the session, or sometimes during the session if I have a little bit of downtime, like if the client is like doing a independent activity. So I haven't done any of my documentation today. So, but I did take a little bit of notes in each session that I'm going to go back and put in our EHR system. So yeah, I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Just thought that I would come and check in. I made it to the end of my work day. I finished my notes. Thank you all so thank you all so much for watching up until this point. It has been an interesting day to say the least, but it is well. It is well. I got everything I needed to get done today. That's all that matters. I am going to now clean up and get ready. They're about to start dismissal literally any second now. They're probably going to start while I'm talking. So I'm going to put this down.